Welcome, everyone. Michael Lazaroff here from Signature Cruise Experiences, welcoming you to our seminar webinar for a Chris Botti at Sea 3. We're very excited. We're about 6 weeks away from sailing, and it's going to be a very, very exciting event. We're going to start in Los Angeles and wind up in Vancouver and all kinds of really good things in between. My name is Michael Lazaroff. I am the executive director of a Chris Botti at Sea and of a Signature Cruise Experiences. Joining me for the webinar is Aubrey Pavlik, who's our director of guest communications and does about another 28 jobs during the normal year. She will be taking over a lot of the webinar once I get through the beginning. We're going to sail in about 6 weeks. We are leaving from Los Angeles. We're going to cruise up to San Francisco, where we have an overnight, and then we're going to Victoria, and then we dock at the end in Vancouver. Very, very exciting schedule of ports of call. We did this cruise once before in reverse. We went from Vancouver down to Los Angeles, and in fact, for those many of you already know, this particular cruise is the second leg. The Smooth Jazz Cruise 26.3 will be coming from Vancouver down to Los Angeles. So we'll have the ship all ready to go. We'll have a week under our belt, and everything will be a raring to go. So these are the details. We're going on the Celebrity Summit. We leave from Los Angeles on Friday, September the 18th. We then end in Vancouver on Friday, September 25th. We are going to visit San Francisco overnight. So we'll be there almost 2 full days. And we'll be in Victoria for a full day. This cruise has an amazing talent base. Besides Chris, of course, we've got Elvis Costello, Boz Scaggs, Melody Gardot, Josh Groban, who was recently added, Candy Dulfer, Emmett Cohen, Veronica Swift. Chris's band is just enormously talented. John Splitoff, Julian Pollock, Dave Cholinsky, Cy Smith, Lee Person, and Caroline Campbell. Fernando Varelas, one of the band members, Mark Whitfield, trumpeter vocalist Benny Benack III, vocalist Candace Springs, vocalist extraordinaire Morgan James, flutist Gregory Myret, and harpist Edmar Constaneda. And then we have the signature band, which is comprised of 5 of our top jazz guys that have been with us for a long, long time: Wycliffe Gordon, Terrell Stafford, Taylor Eichste, Reuben Rogers, and Herlin Riley. Absolutely spectacular musicians. And our music director, as always, is Eric Marienthal. And then our party band, Have Fun, is one of our smooth jazz bands. And this is Darnell Taylor, Carnell Harrell, David Dyson, and Chris Mescal. All of our shows are divided into 3 categories. We have shows that are called In Concert. We have shows that are called Learn, and then we have events that are called Enjoy. The reason that we make those distinctions is when it says In Concert, that is a music event. That is a music show. We do have some events that include artists, and they're really not performing music. They are doing other things. They're being interviewed. They may be doing a wine tasting and stuff, and we don't want to confuse anybody. So that's why we don't call them In Concert. We either say Learn or we say Enjoy. Most of the Enjoy events really have less to do about the theme of the cruise and are just fun fun things to do. We operate on the main show format, which means that every night we have two main shows, and first show and second show. Um, Blue means that you go to the first show, and for the most part, people dine afterwards. Red means that you dine first and then go to the second main show. This was an election that you made when you made your reservation. And the purpose of these designations is so we can make sure that the seating for the shows, not dining, the seating for the shows is perfect for everyone. The main theater holds half of our guests extremely comfortably. So we make sure that we have divided the group 50-50. And that kind of means that unless there's a really unusual circumstances, whether you have been designated blue or a designated red, that is something that will be very, very difficult to alter once you're on the ship. The rest of the shows, other than the main shows, including shows that are in the main theater, are done festival style. That's for afternoons. That's before and after the main shows. One of the things that we're famous for is once we get to the latter part of the evening, around 10:30, every guest has had dinner and seen the main show. We then open it up. It's called Cruising After Dark, and we have tons of events all over the ship. You get to pick, you get to roam, you get to graze and do whatever you want. And we have a number of shows in the afternoons when we are not in port. Same way. There will be over 200 hours of music. The theater is the main theater, and that holds half of the guests very, very comfortably. It's a beautiful theater. It's tiered. There are virtually no poles, great seating, great sound. We make sure that the sound is great. We spend a lot of time with special speakers and all kinds of other paraphernalia that our amazing production team is able to put together. The Sky Lounge is on top of the ship. It's on deck 11. It's a beautiful jazz club looking music venue looking with a picturesque windows. We have lots of shows there. It's in the same elevator bank as the theater. So in the evening, there is a lot of movement up and down from the theater to the Sky Lounge. The Rendezvous Lounge is in the middle of the ship. It is on deck 4 midship between the main dining room and the main theater. It is really exciting when the show breaks to see half of the people moving from the show to the dining room and half of the people moving from the dining room to the show. It is a really fun. We always have great events in there, and late night we have karaoke and we have all kinds of fun and games, and the artists come there. It is a terrific hang. By the pool, we will construct a full stage with sightlines around the entire pool deck for afternoon shows, evening shows, lots of events. And one of the really cool things about our cruises and this particular ship is the Cosmopolitan Restaurant, which is the main dining room, converts to a spectacular music venue. We do this late night cabaret style entertainment, and that's usually where the people hang at the end of the evening if they aren't in the Rendezvous Lounge. And we have afternoon shows there as well, and we have other events. It is a two level room, and the back of it is a completely windowed that looks out the back of the ship. absolutely beautiful, spectacular looking, and it's really one of the great additions that we are able to do with this particular ship. Non-music events. We have all kinds of things going on. Autograph and recording sessions. We're going to have listening parties. We have talent hosted events. It could be a wine tasting. It could be lots of different things. We have the artists. Every single artist is involved in some type of event, which gives you the opportunity to engage them differently than just being on stage. We do interviews. Great way to learn more about the artist. Rendezvous at night. That is the Rendezvous Lounge. That's what I was talking about before, where we have games and dancing and dancing lessons and lots of different things there. Game shows. The artists participate in some really fun game shows, and then we have some game shows that are just for the guests, and that's fun. Alonzo Bowden has been our comedian for many, many years, probably sailed with us more than 50 times. He will do shows. We have blackjack tournaments, poker tournaments. There is a pickleball on the top of the ship. We have a morning coffee talks with artists, and those are fun. And then we have 4 theme nights. 2 of them have an attire element to it. But the first night is just Welcome to Bodie at Sea. And then the second night is a black and white night, where we encourage guests to either wear black, all white, or a black and white. It's actually kind of stunning. And then on the second to last night is our chic formal night. Formal night used to be tuxedos and gowns and all this stuff. Well, that's way in the past. Men usually wear sport coats. Women get dressed nicely. It is the kind of attire that you would wear to go out to dinner and to a show. And then the final night is our thank you night, and that's always a bittersweet event where we're thrilled that the cruise is over and went well, but we're also sad that it's over. The attire, dress code. This is not a fashion show by any stretch. We want you to be comfortable. The most important thing is also to have very comfortable shoes. If all that you do is just do the normal events on the ship, you're going to wind up walking way more than you normally do in all likelihood. And with all of our fancy excursions, when we're in San Francisco and when we're in Victoria, you're going to want to have comfortable shoes. The rest is, whether we call it casual attire or a sport casual or upper sport casual, whatever you want to call it. But again, everybody looks nice, but again, it isn't a fashion show. It is to be comfortable. Nightly main show seating, red, blue in the theater. About an hour before the show, you can enter the theater, take a seat. You can actually queue up for the nightly shows. Doors again is approximately 1 hour before the show starts. Once you're inside, you can save 1 seat, and that is until the show begins. What a lot of people do is, if you're a couple, one person goes in early, they get the seat, and then they hold it for their companion. Once the show begins, though, every seat is open, safe. That's our seating assistance for entry. You should have received, or you will receive shortly, information if you need assistance getting in and out of the main theater. These are probably mostly for people that require mobile assistance or have some type of equipment that they use to get in and out of the theater. We do have some reserved seats. Those are for our 10 plus members and for some certain other returning guests. Again, a reserved seat is your seat until the show begins. It is not your seat once the show begins. Then it's open for everybody. Show seating for all other shows is a first come, first serve, and you don't need tickets. You don't stand in line. Um, Grazing, we encourage. Grazing means that you go to a show and maybe you want to see half of it. Maybe you want to see something before you go eat, or maybe the show isn't something that you like. Free to go to a different show, in and out. Camping, that's when on an afternoon you look and you go, well, there are three great shows up in the Sky Lounge, one right after another. I'm going to take my sleeping bag and a pillow, and I'm going to camp there, and I'm going to stay in the same seat. That we don't let you do because that's not fair to the other guests. And here again, we have the a saving seat policy. You can save one seat again only until the show begins. Photographs and recording, non-flash photography is okay. We try to discourage it because invariably the taking of non-flash photography interferes with the sight lines of the people behind you. We will have professional photographers on the ship at all times taking photos. And at the end of the cruise, we have a photo gallery where you can download hundreds and hundreds of photos free. There is no ability or authorization to record the music, and that's part of our contract with the individual musicians. Talking to musicians, of course, that is totally encouraged, and they love it. Just be a little bit judicious with this. Try not to do it when they're having a meal. Try not to do it when they are getting ready for a show in one of the lounges. And when the show is over, we try to have everybody in that show move from the venue so that we can clean it up and get it set up for the next show. So there is that element. We encourage the musicians to bring merchandise. More often than not, it is CDs, but they have autograph sessions and there's all kinds of merchandise on the ship. The ship has a great spa, um, beauty treatments, massages. You can get your teeth whitened. You can do all kinds of things that you would not imagine. They've got acupuncture. Go online if you're interested in any of these, but it's a full spa. Shops, they have shops on the ship. These are not necessarily high-end shops, except for the jewelry. Jewelry is very, very good, and they match almost any price that you'll get when you're on land. I think Aubrey is going to do the dining because she knows this much better than I. So I'm going to introduce again Aubrey Pavlik, who's our director of guest communications, along with countless other job descriptions and titles. Go ahead, Aubrey.
Thank you, Michael, and good afternoon, everyone. So, Celebrity Cruises is highly rated for the quality of their overall food and beverage service and the options that they have. They are generally split between included dining. So, these are options that are included in your cruise price. And then we have specialty restaurants, which are locations that are available to reserve for an upcharge. So for the included dining options, the Ocean View Cafe is the main buffet on the ship. It is located on deck 10, so it's right next to the pool deck. Many guests will enjoy breakfast and lunch pretty much every day there. When Celebrity renovated the ship a few years ago, they completely redid this area, the Ocean View Cafe. And now it's really set up in a variety of smaller stations. They have a really pretty wide array of different offerings, cuisines from around the world. And as I mentioned, it's open breakfast, lunch, dinner, late night. It's pretty much around the clock. So if you are hungry at an odd hour, this is definitely your best place to go find something. But pretty much any time of day that you need to grab something, whether it's a meal or a snack, you can go to the Ocean View Cafe and fulfill that need. The Cosmopolitan Restaurant is the main dining room. It is located on decks 4 and 5 in the aft of the ship. And it's a really beautiful dining room. So, as Michael mentioned, we do transform this for some concerts and shows and interviews to a certain extent, either afternoons or late at night. Um, but it has floor to ceiling windows, and it has a different menu each evening. So there's some really popular dishes that they offer daily, but then you'll see a rotation of all the other items. And it has a variety of different options for everyone. So if you're vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, they have some different options for you as well. But definitely recommend that our guests go and dine in the Cosmopolitan at least a few times during the week. As far as when you would dine, so the blue versus red timing, as Michael mentioned, you would have elected either to be a blue card guest or a red card guest when you made your reservation. So when you board the ship, you're going to receive your cruise identification card, and that's going to be at your stateroom door. And it will have either that blue or that red background. So if you have a blue card, that means that you'll attend that first main stage show, and then you typically will dine after. Usually you're starting anywhere from 7:15 to maybe up to 8 o'clock. And then if you have a red card, you're going to dine before the show. So you are probably starting and being seated in that main dining room between 5 and 5:45, and then you're out so that you can attend that second main stage show, which typically starts around 8:30 p.m. There are two different options for dining in the Cosmopolitan restaurant. So there is an open dining section, which is pretty large, and that allows you to arrive anytime at the dining room when it's open, and you can be seated with your party. You can ask to be seated with other guests from the cruise if you wish to do that. Um, all you need to do is just let them know the number in your party or if you'd like to join somebody else. We do also offer a traditional reserved dining section. So, in this situation, you would be seated at the same table at the same time and with the same waiter each evening. And those assigned dining times are 5 p.m. for the red card holders and 7:30 for the blue card holders. So, if you would like that option, you can email our office at info@scecruises.com, and you would just let us know who is in your party, specifically the number of people, but also who would be dining with you so that we can coordinate that table for you with the ship. There's a couple other included options as well. So the spa cafe, that is a great option for those who are looking for lighter fare. That is also on deck 10 in the solarium. It's open for breakfast and lunch. And again, it's pretty healthy options. There's salads, there's smoothies, there's other um, lighter kind of fare, light sandwiches, etc. And then there's the pool grill. So that is immediately adjacent to the pool on deck 10 as well. And that is kind of your quick grab and go for burgers, hot dogs, fries, any of those traditional grill type items that you might want to sit out and enjoy by the pool. As far as the specialty dining on board the ship, there is Tuscan Grill. So that is deck 3. That is one of Celebrity Cruises' most popular restaurant concepts. It is Italian fare with a little bit of a modern twist. It features pastas, salamis, meats. Definitely a fan favorite of our guests. There's Sushi on Five, which is another popular restaurant. It is Pan Asian cuisine, open every afternoon and in the evening. This is a la carte pricing, so you can order a sushi roll if you would like to. You can carry that out, or a couple different rolls. They also offer some different noodle dishes and some other items that you would typically associate with some Pan Asian cuisine. So that is on deck five, as Sushi on Five, you would guess. Lumine, which is on deck four. This is a favorite of our team at SE. It's a very elegant restaurant. The menu is not super large. They have kind of a smaller option of the different dishes, but they rotate the selection for each day, and there's a little bit of something for everyone. It is very well done food. It's nice. We highly recommend that you would enjoy a dinner in Lumine if that sounds interesting to you. Um, let's see. Signature Steakhouse at Blue is next. That is on deck five, also in the aft. So we are bringing back our steakhouse for, I think it's the third, maybe even the fourth year. For those of you who have sailed with us before, we were calling it Chop's House before. It's basically the same menu, but we've rebranded it to Signature Steakhouse. And it's our takehouse with our take with celebrity on a traditional steakhouse. And it features all of the favorite classics that you would have at a steakhouse. So prime cuts of meats, French onion soup, shrimp cocktail, nice salads, variety of sides, desserts, etc. So it's been well received the past few years. We are bringing it back by popular demand, and definitely a fan favorite of our guests. And then we have a new restaurant concept this year. It is called A Taste of San Francisco at Cuisine. Um, so each year we really try to come up with something new, exciting for our guests to enjoy. And since we are going to be on the West Coast and having a nice overnight in San Francisco, we thought a taste of San Francisco would be a great option for this particular itinerary. We created it in collaboration with the San Francisco Chronicle food critic Michael Bauer, who we will talk about a little bit more because he also helped create some of our culinary excursions. Um, but it really features dishes that are inspired by the iconic food scene of the Bay Area. So there's a lot of coastal seafood, California cuisine, some Asian influences, and then some comfort classics. We are really excited about it. We think it's going to be well received, and that is going to be up on deck 11 midship in Cuisine. So that's also a really nice space to go and have a nice dinner at. And then finally, our last option as far as onboard dining goes is room service. So this is available 24/7. Continental breakfast is complimentary, so you can place an order. There will be a little ticket that's in your room, and you can just fill out what you would like for that continental breakfast and put it outside of your door the night prior. All other orders are subject to a delivery fee that is $9.95 for the delivery. I will invite Michael to come back on and share a little bit of his take on room service. It's very honest, and I think
I'm back.
good.
I'm
Thank
back.
you. Thank
You know,
you.
I heard the word. You know, I heard the words room service. Um, I am not a fan of a room service. When it was free, maybe. Now that they charge it, I know where your room is. I know where the kitchen is. I've seen the carriers where they have all of the trays. The odds of your meal coming to you the way that you would like it is fairly remote. I think it's easier to just go up to the Ocean View Cafe, take what you want, and then come back to your room and eat on the veranda or eat in the room. I know that there's lots of people who think that that's what a vacation is breakfast brought to your room, and that's fine. I just don't want people anticipating that it's a great dining experience because most of the time it is not. And that's my speech about room service.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Audrey.
Michael. Our on land excursions. So, as you are all aware, we have some really great ports of call that we're going to. So, on September 20th and 21st, we'll be in San Francisco for that overnight stay with those 2 days. And then September 24th, we'll be in Victoria. We have done a webinar on all of the different excursion options that are available. Now, some of them are fully reserved. We do have limited availability on a few that I'll highlight here. And then if you are interested in learning more about the either these options or any of the other options that we still have available, they're listed on our website. And then we also have that excursion webinar that's available on our booked guest portal. So the few that I wanted to highlight here, just because we do have availability still, and they were well received on our Journey of Jazz cruise that Michael mentioned that we did last year. It's the Napa Valley Wine Train. So we have the Gourmet Express lunch. It goes all throughout that Napa Valley area. It's a really beautiful, scenic ride, and some commentary along with it, but a really nice lunch, and you're going to get to see the area. There's a welcome glass of champagne, I believe. And then we also have some of the artists who will be joining for those different excursions. So on the 20th, we'll have John Splitoff and Benny Benek III on that Napa Valley Wine Train. And then on the 21st, we'll have Morgan James and her husband, Doug Womble. So that's a really fun option. Uh, on Journey of Jazz, that became fully reserved very quickly. So we ended up this year chartering that Napa Valley Wine Train for both of the days. So we have a little bit more room. So if you're interested in that, I suggest going on and taking a look and booking that sooner than later, because I do think it's going to book up pretty quickly. Of course, we have the Branford Marsalis Quartet at SF Jazz Center on Monday as well. So for those of you who are not familiar with SF Jazz Center, it's a really beautiful venue. Michael might also have something to say here, but it was really built for jazz and has great acoustics. We did a couple of shows there last year, and it was really phenomenal. And of course,
Yeah.
you can't beat Branford Marsalis. So, Michael.
If you haven't been to SF Jazz and you like venues, this is a really special venues. The way that they've put the seats in various places, the acoustics are amazing. The people who did the acoustics also work at a Carnegie Hall, and it's just a really cool thing to do. And if you're interested in jazz, it'll be a wonderful afternoon. Thanks, Aubrey.
Thank you. And then the last ones that I wanted to highlight here are just the culinary tours that I mentioned that Michael Bauer, who is the food critic from the San Francisco Chronicle, helped us curate. So he has selected a handful of some of the best restaurants in the San Francisco area. We have brunch, lunch, and dinner options that are available. A few of them are already fully reserved. I do know that the dinner options are getting close to that point. So if that is of interest to you, please do take a look. But it's going to be fun with Michael Bauer and kind of getting his insider insight. And he's friendly with a lot of these restaurateurs. So he will give you some of the insider insight into the food scene in the San Francisco area, but also just primarily for some really good food while you are there. You can again book now on the website. You can call our office as well. So I have the number there. And then for those of you who have already booked your excursions, we did send an initial confirmation email around mid-June. We are planning to send your detailed confirmation emails with a little bit more information 1 month prior. So that is coming up now in mid-August. And then your final information and the tickets will be delivered on board on embarkation day. So we're really looking forward to the excursion aspect of this cruise. Should be fun to explore both Victoria and San Francisco. Our next topic is Celebrity Cruises pre-cruise planner. So you would have first received your celebrity reservation number in our Get Ready email number 2. And this is really a key to completing different amenity purchases via Celebrity's pre-cruise planner. So you can access the pre-cruise planner by logging into your Celebrity Cruises account at the link provided here, celebritycruises.com/account. And if you don't remember your Celebrity Cruises username and password, you're going to click Forgot Password. You'll be prompted to reset your credentials. Very easy. If you haven't created a Celebrity account yet, you can do so by clicking Create an Account, and then you just follow those couple quick prompts. And then just a reminder that your celebrity account is different from your Signature Cruise Experiences account that you created to book the cruise with us. So those are two different items, and your username and password might be different for those. Once you're in your account, Bodhi at C26 will pop up in your upcoming cruises. So you're going to want to click the Plan My Cruise button under that cruise, and then you can access the different options that are available to you. You can see the navigation bar at the bottom of this screen here. It's pretty easy. You can search via subject, and we can go through on the next slide here, but there's specialty dining reservations, beverage packages, shore excursions, internet, spa treatments. Michael mentioned a few of those, and some other amenities that are all available before you even step on board the ship. All right. So, as I just mentioned, you can book a number of these amenities. We highly recommend doing it before you get on board the cruise and taking advantage of Celebrity's pre-cruise planner. This will save you time and it will also save you money. So, as you can see here in this nice little grid that we have, Celebrity has given us some discounts for our guests on the beverage and the Wi-Fi packages. So there's a 25% discount on the premium classic and non-alcoholic beverage packages. And then there's also 25% discount on the premium Wi-Fi packages for those 1 and 2 device packages. So if any of those items are of interest to you, we highly recommend going into your pre-cruise planner and taking advantage of those discounts. The prices for those different packages do go back up to Celebrity's normal rate once we get on board the ship. And there's nothing that you really need to do. You just need to go into that pre-cruise planner. There's no promo code or anything like that. It's all reflected right in that pre-cruise planner. Let's see what else. They have specialty dining restaurant reservations that are available to you as well. There are a couple first night discounts in Tuscan Grill and Signature Steakhouse at Blue. So if either of those are of interest to you, that's a nice way to check them out and get a little bit of a discount there on that first night. And you can schedule your spa treatments if any of those are of interest to you, any of those other amenities that are available to you. All of those, you can make those purchases, you can make modifications, or if you even would like to cancel one of your purchases, you can do that all the way up until 3 days prior to the cruise. So you just need to go into your Celebrity Cruises account and select which items that you would like to purchase or modify or cancel. All right. Celebrity Cruises online check-in. So each guest must complete or must complete check-in, and we highly recommend doing it online. Um, so this can be accomplished using your Celebrity Cruises account as well. And you can start this process. It opened up yesterday and it goes all the way up until 3 days prior to the cruise. So to start, you will go to a link that's also provided here. It is celebritycruises.com/booked. And again, you're just going to enter your username and password or create that account if you haven't yet created it. Once you do that, Bodhi at Sea 26 should automatically show up as an upcoming cruise. So you can access the online check-in by clicking that Start Check-in button that you'll see in your Celebrity account. And again, this can be completed anytime up until 3 days prior to embarkation day. We highly recommend doing it sooner than later, just so you get it done. You can have a little bit more of a wait or incur some delays at on embarkation day at the terminal if you do not complete the online check-in. Um, so the process is really pretty simple once you get logged into that Celebrity Cruises and start the process. It's a step-by-step procedure. It should take you less than 10 to 15 minutes to complete per guest. You will want to have a passport, a credit card, and your Celebrity Cruises reservation number handy when you are going to complete this. So again, there's a few of the different steps here. There's guest information, emergency contact, that travel documentation. So that's why you need your passport handy. It will ask you to take a security photo. You can upload that, or if you wish, you can just take that in the terminal on embarkation day. You'll want that credit card for your onboard expense account. There's a quick health acknowledgement, and then you're going to select your terminal arrival time. So, the terminal arrival time is a window of time that you are anticipating arriving to the terminal. They're available in half an hour windows between 11:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. Um, you should take your travel time into consideration when you're selecting. So if you are flying in that morning, if you're driving a ways away, just make sure that you're allotting for ample time because we do ask that guests arrive during that window that they selected. If you arrive outside of that window, you may have to wait for a little bit as Celebrity does kind of control the flow of guests into the terminal with those arrival times. Um, so once you've completed your complete online check-in, your Express Pass, which is your boarding pass, is going to be available for you to download and print. You are definitely going to want to keep that handy. Make sure we highly recommend printing it. You can also save it in your digital wallet if you'd like to do that. But that is your boarding pass on embarkation day. So that is a key step to embarkation day. Celebrity Cruises also has personalized luggage tags. So starting at 30 days prior to embarkation. So for this cruise, it's going to be August 19th. They're available for you also within your Celebrity account. It's available only if you've already completed online check-in or at that point if you complete your online check-in. You're going to want to print these out and attach them to each piece of luggage once you arrive into that Los Angeles area and prior to giving your luggage to the porters at the terminal. It's a very important step. This literally tells Celebrity where to deliver your luggage once it gets on board. If you don't have that, it will not get to your room. So very important to keep that on your luggage once you get into that Los Angeles area. Um, In one of our prior Get Ready emails, we did share a few links to clear reusable luggage tag options. We have a few that we recommend from Amazon just because we know it fits the celebrity tags really well. You can just slip your printed luggage tags within the holder. It makes it slightly more durable and make sure that it doesn't get pulled off from your luggage while you're in transit. So we will put that in another Get Ready in case you missed it, but we do highly recommend they're not very expensive and it gives you a little bit of peace of mind to make sure that that luggage tag does stay attached. Um, and then finally, one important note, part of the reason why we recommend online check-in rather than the Celebrity app is that the luggage tags aren't available to print from the app. So if you do wish to print out that luggage tag, you will have to do that from the online portal for Celebrity. So speaking of Celebrity Cruises mobile app check-in, Celebrity offers this in their mobile app. So if you wish to utilize it, you can download the app in the App Store or Google Play. We also have the QR code that's listed here. You can scan that and utilize that. Mobile app check-in is available into the morning of embarkation. So if you forgot to do it, or kind of last minute procrastinating, you can do that all the way up until embarkation day morning. It's pretty easy and it kind of follows along the online platform. So you're gonna log into your Celebrity Cruises account with your username and password, and then once you've logged in, you should see Bodhi as C26 in your upcoming cruises, and then you go through that step-by-step process. As far as any sort of technical difficulties with either your online check-in, your mobile check-in, any purchases that you might wish to make, we have listed Celebrity Cruises help desk here, which is 844-278-9746. We at Signature Cruise Experiences unfortunately don't have access to Celebrity Cruises back end, so we would only be able to kind of help walk you through it from a guest perspective and from whatever you are telling us. If you need a little bit more technical support, we just recommend giving Celebrity Cruises a call and they will be able to help you with any of those issues that you might have. All right, moving on to embarkation day. So first, for those of you who may be traveling from outside of the Los Angeles area, we do have a limited number of hotel rooms at the Hilton Long Beach. We included that information in the Get Ready email that you received yesterday. There is a link with a special rate to the room block that we have. So don't have a ton of rooms there, but if you have not made accommodations yet for that night prior, please feel free to go ahead and reference that and take a look and see if you'd like to book there. So importantly, we will be boarding the ship in Los Angeles. The terminal is called the LA World Cruise Center. It's located in San Pedro. Which is not too far from that Hilton Long Beach hotel that I just mentioned. So one of the reasons why we selected that. Of course, Michael already mentioned a number of times, but our ship is the Celebrity Summit. And for those of you who are local to the LA area or are planning to drive yourselves, there is parking right at the terminal if you wish to do that. Upon arrival, there are a few steps that you should follow to ensure the best boarding experience. So again, that terminal arrival time that we just talked about, you select that during your online check-in process. Please do abide by that. You have to be in the terminal by 3:30 p.m., so make sure you are there by then. Um, and then in your hand, you are going to want to have a few must-have items. So they're listed here, but your passport, obviously you need that. The Express Pass, which is what you will print out after completing that online check-in process, or if you have it in your digital wallet, that is acceptable as well. Any medications that you may need, and then any of those personal items for that first couple hours. So when you first get to the terminal, you are going to hand over your luggage to the porters who will be readily available there outside of the terminal. Again, make sure that your celebrity luggage tags that we just discussed are on every piece of luggage that you're handing over to those porters. Um, we recommend, again, if you're not going to have them in those little plastic luggage tags that we just discussed, then make sure that you're doing it right when you get into the LA area. Don't put them on before getting on a plane because they're just paper and they're not the most durable. So again, once you arrive to the terminal, make sure you're on that they are on every piece of the luggage, that your stateroom number is accurate, your name's accurate. If you did happen to forget your luggage tags, the porters who are going to be assisting you will have some blank tags that are available. Just make sure that anything that is handwritten is very neat and legible, and that it has the right stateroom number on it, because that is the number one way to not receive your luggage or have it get lost for a little bit is, inverting some of the numbers. So, part of the reason why we suggest going through that online check-in process and printing out those luggage tags, just to make sure it's clearly legible, and that you're going to get that luggage delivered very quickly. And then, of course, tipping is customary for the porters. It's much appreciated. It helps ensure your luggage is delivered promptly. So we do recommend giving a tip to those porters who assist you. After you transfer your luggage to the porters who are there, you're going to enter the terminal and you'll complete your registration. If you've already completed your online check-in, and you're arriving at the terminal within your selected window, it's really incredibly fast once you get into the terminal. You're going to board the ship when you're called. Again, it's rare that there's a long line or that you're waiting for a prolonged period of time once you're in the terminal. Typically, you're kind of flowing really nicely with those terminal arrival times, and you can walk on board shortly after you get through. When you are boarding the ship, your stateroom will be ready for occupancy. So you can go to in fact, we highly recommend that you go to your stateroom right away. You can drop off any of your hand luggage that you have. You can freshen up your cruise identification card. So that red or blue card that we talked about a little bit earlier is going to be right outside of your stateroom. There's like a little mail slot. So you can open that, make sure that it's your name, and then you can go into your stateroom right away. Your luggage will be delivered to your stateroom by 6 p.m. And then there's a few helpful handouts that you're going to receive at boarding, that we will go through really quickly here. There's a welcome letter that you'll receive that will talk a little bit about the different dining venues. It will talk about the theater shows and give you a little bit of a reminder on seating and how that works. It will talk about the bars that are open, any of those amenity purchases that maybe you didn't make. It will tell you where you can make those. It will talk a little bit about the muster drill, which we will talk about momentarily. So just helpful reminders. It's definitely something that we recommend reading as you are boarding the ship or just after you board. Again, just helpful reminders, especially for that embarkation day. You'll also receive a souvenir program as you are boarding the ship, and this is a beautiful keepsake program. It has photos and bios of all the different performers that are going to be on board the ship. It will have a section on the itinerary and a lot of other things. So it's something that's really nice for you to peruse through. You can see maybe some of the performers that you are less familiar with, or those maybe that you're very excited to see and hear for either the first time or maybe many times. But it's just a nice keepsake for you to take home and remember the cruise by. And last but not least, you will also receive a lanyard as you are walking on board the ship. And this is a great place. It's great to just put around your neck and then throw that cruise identification card. So that's your room card. That's how you charge things on board the ship. So that is an easy way to make sure that you have that with you at all times when you're walking around the ship because you will need it at all times. And finally, we do have an SCE Cruises app learning session. Similar to the way that Celebrity Cruises has an app, we at Signature Cruise Experiences will have a Bodhi at Sea app for you. We will be launching this 10 days prior to the cruise. Um, and that, along with a performance schedule, will be coming out. We will email you at that 10-day mark and tell you exactly how you can download it and access it, use it. But it's really just this learning session is a nice way if you've never used our app or are
Yeah,
not
no,
tech
I'm
savvy, then we can help assist you with that. All right, we can go to the next slide here. So once you are on board, that is a great time to grab lunch. There are a couple different options. So the Ocean View Cafe, which is up on deck 10, is open beginning at 11:30 a.m. Again, that's that main buffet that we discussed. Veranda Plus, guests who are in Veranda Plus staterooms will have a dedicated lunch from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. in the Cosmopolitan restaurant on deck 5. And guests who are in suites will also have a dedicated lunch from 11:30 to 1:30 in Lumine on deck 4. And both of those are in the aft or the back of the ship. And then again, if you weren't able to complete those reservations or purchases via Celebrity's pre-cruise planner, after boarding the ship is a good time to do that. Unfortunately, there's not really a one-stop shop for the various different items. So that is part of the reason why we recommend going in and making those purchases that you wish to make prior to the cruise. But if you didn't do that, you can still do that on embarkation day. It's just that you will need to go to those different various areas. So the spa's up on deck 10. Specialty dining will have some stations that are set up in the grand foyer or the Ocean View Cafe. Beverage packages, you can make those purchases at any bar. Internet, you can just connect to the Wi-Fi there. And then Shore Excursions has a desk on deck 3. All right. Mandatory safety procedure. So all guests must complete Celebrity's mandatory safety procedure, also known as the muster drill. It is now really pretty quick and simple to complete. So once you get on board, or you can even do it in via Celebrity Cruises app on your phone, you can watch the safety demonstration video. So it's a pretty quick video. It's probably about 2 minutes or so. It gives you all of the details of what you need to know for safety purposes. You can watch that in your in-room TV once you go to your stateroom, or again, you can do that on Celebrity Cruises app. Once you watch that safety video, you're going to proceed to your muster station. So this is listed on the back of that cruise identification card that you get at your stateroom. It is also listed on the back of your stateroom door. It will be A2, something along those lines. If you're unfamiliar with where that is, you can take a look at where that is. It will actually say it on the back of your stateroom door. But if you don't know and just have your cruise identification card on you, there's going to be plenty of celebrity staff and crew members that will be able to assist you and help direct you to the correct location. And then once you get to that muster station, there is going to be another set of Celebrity Cruises team members who will verify that you watched the safety video, and then they'll record the completion of being at the checked in at the muster station. And at that point, you are done with your mandatory safety procedure. This is also a good time to go explore the ship. If you've never been on the summit, you can walk around and familiarize yourself with the ship, the key food and beverage areas, the key entertainment venues that Michael talked about. And then again, we also have that Signature Cruise Experiences app info session at 2 p.m. So if that is something of interest to you, you can join us there. And that is it for now. I believe we are going to be taking questions at this point. All right. Well,
So will there be main stage shows happening during the overnight in your San Francisco? The answer is absolutely. And in fact, that night will be one show will be a Boz Skaggs, and one show will be a Melody Gardot, and then the following night it'll be the reverse. So everybody will be able to see both of them while we're in San Francisco. Can I do two excursions on the same day? If you plan it well, yes. If that's something which is of interest to you, Aubrey, who should they talk to about actually trying to schedule something like that? That
yep.
may be hard to do on the thing.
Yes, if they write in or call, Anton will have all of the information. But if you write in info at scecruises.com with any questions as far as which two excursions you may wish to do, we can help assist as far as a timing perspective and or let you know if it is or is not possible. So a number of them are possible to combine and do on one day. There are some that are overlapping that would be a challenge to fit in one day.
Will there be a gathering for for a Yom Kippur on the night of a Kol Nidra? We will have a 11 o'clock service that will be officiated by either a rabbi or someone who is prepared to do so, and it'll be a 60-minute service. Okay. Will the performance schedule? When will the performance schedule be released? Aubrey's going to answer that because I answer it wrong every time.
We will be releasing that 10 days prior. So again, the performance schedule and our app will go hand in hand. We will be sending you an email with instructions on where to access the performance schedule and how to download the app, which has all the performances in it as well. So you can expect that 10 days prior to the cruise.
Well, thank you all for joining us, and I hope this was informative. It's very important to us that all of our guests know as much as possible about the upcoming cruise. It's a major commitment for you, and we appreciate that, and we want you to be as knowledgeable as possible so that you can spend your time when you're on the ship having fun rather than worrying about details. We don't sail again for 6 weeks, so we have some time to clean up whatever issues you may have. Feel free to contact us, and we sure as heck look forward to seeing you on the ship down in Los Angeles. Again, thank you for your support, and we will see you on the ship.